Yo, and here we are. Last night's little bonus games. I don't know. Yeah, so we're playing against Rescue Ace again. That's my buddy. And what do you know? We lose the die roll. Man, we're good at that. Opening hand here is Armored XE Shark, Pike, and Double Imperm Small World. I think something like that. So okay hand. It seemed a lot better. It seemed a lot better when I drew it, and then later I realized that it's actually was not that great. Double Imperm's great. Double Imperm's great for this deck. Um, the issue with my hand right now is that Small World is a neg one, um, and Pike. Not getting that, not having your discard for Pike being a live card is definitely very unfortunate. And okay, so he has Preventer, Nib. What is that last card? I think he put Hydrant in his hand. I don't think it was a live card. Was it Witch? It was Witch. It was Witch. And he ends up later saying that was a misplay. He should have Witched before he Prosperity. Because it was kind of redundant. Sends Nib. Wow, that was very ballsy of him. He must have felt like he was good. I understand why. He has Witch and he has Hydrant. He has two starters here. Either one of them gets into full combo because he has Preventer in hand. So double Imperm, that felt nasty. That's what we like to see, baby. Yeah, and so right there, he's just like, well, he has absolutely, he really ends on nothing. I think we go back and forth. I think he goes back and forth a little bit, and we talk it over, thinking, what's the best option he can do. And I think he just chills out. Does he just chill out here? Yeah, okay. So we'll back up a little bit. He just chills out with literally nothing. Literally nothing. But he has Ash with the Pike. And I think I drew Gun for turn, which is wild. That's another brick, and I have to call it out when I see it, And so what's crazy here is, so the only thing that you could say was a misplay was maybe I should have small rolled it first, because I had XYZ Shark, I had a Gun, Pike, and Small World, and so my issue here is something that I did not personally account for is I went Pike, summon, so 3 cards in hand, discard a water, get ashed, and then, am I thinking that right? Yeah. Pike, discard Shark, get negated. Small World, send Gun to get Shrine. Now all I have is Shrine and Pike on my field. Maybe, and this is the point where I realized that my hand was not as good as I thought it was, because literally I'm just thinking, I have 2 ways to get to Shrine and I'm totally fine. No, I'm not fine. I don't have a card to discard for the Deep Sea King, so there's really nothing I can do here. And probably, I guess what you could say what I should have done was Small World first, and well, it's not even like a debate. That's a moment where I think if anything, I thought the Pike was gonna go through. I didn't think he was gonna hit that Pike so hard, but yeah. So that was on me for sure. And it's good to see these to be humbled and to see like how easy you can misplay. Yeah, and so there's really nothing for me to do here. Luckily he also has nothing, but I think he just top decked, just absolutely disgusting. So I drew 2 bricks. So I think I Shrine to add Teus to hand. Again, just shrining it. Oh, because he has Airlifter. Once he has Airlifter, okay, cool, I'm going to lose. So I'm just hoping for another hand trap, and I get nothing. It's infantry. And then yeah, he obviously just going to go from here, and he's just going to win out. All right, so I side out. So I side in triple thrust plus DGG. And also important to take into account, so I have no Charmies anymore. So this list had to change a little bit to account for the Charmies. Really, and this was a notes that mentioned with Lernonad in the beginning. And one of the notes he had made was basically saying you either move draw or drop it to the main. Well, we've moved both to the main now, and I should have a list here somewhere. I'll have a list here somewhere, and it should show what the deck is currently looking like for these matches. So we'll see that in a second, or we've already seen it. But yeah, so we side out just one of every hand trap and a droplet. Really we just need crossed out targets, and if he does anything to me, I have thrust for DGG because DGG absolutely knocks this deck. So we'll get into our game here, and so I have not watched these matches. In fact, I don't know what my hand is. Looks like it's thrust. Yeah, I did not see my hand. I don't know if I'm showing it. I see thrust. Obviously, I had to pitch area and shrine. Oh, I call by it. Oh, I think I see what I'm doing. So I have no other follow-up in my hand in terms of water. I think it might be. I think it was call by thrust impulse. I think. Yeah, it was. So I have DGG set. I have dragoons in hand. And I have impulse in hand. And so my goal is to use shrine. Yeah, to pitch the dragoons. I'm doing all this. I'm shotgunning it because I have the DGG set, and I want to be able to. I want to be able to get those draws and all those advantages before I drop the banishing. But it looks like he has bonfire, maybe imperm. Is that evenly in his hand? Am I crazy? So I shotgun that. I think that's fine. I don't think there's anything I really need to play around here. Also because he already knows it there. He knows it there, so there's no point in trying to hide it. I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah. So. He's just doing some snake eye shenanigans, and oh, he has prosperity. How does he have prosperity in every single game? Have we He's opened prosperity 4 times in including this game, in the past 4 games that we have watched. Brother, that's a little sus, okay, dude? You're not playing 40 cards. What's going on? I wonder if he knows prosperity is at 1. Unbelievable. Plus, prosperity is so free in his deck. He doesn't care about half his extra deck anyway. He doesn't even use it. He uses 5 cards. You guys might hear twins in the background. We had, in this video, my boys were just running around and screaming, and they were tired, and they were being a little silly.
Can you kill me without your graveyard?
Yeah. So he's doing really. Not too much here. Oh, he has judgment. Oh, this was also, I remember now. This was a little bit of a, it didn't feel great. It didn't feel great. So. Oh yeah, my boy. Yeah, they're. Oh, where is he? He's sitting right there. He pulled up a chair, and he's he wanted to sit with us and watch, and. So you might hear them a little bit as we're playing this out. But yeah, so we'll just kind of keep going here. Yeah, it's just Little Knight, set Judgment, set Imperm, pass. And he has Preventer and Impulse in hand. So he definitely has follow-up, for sure. Oh, I didn't see what that was.
Let's go. Normal pike effect. Discard shadow for cost.
Oh, whatever. We'll get there. Yeah, so... Did I top deck the pike? No, I Shrine, discard Dragoons. Dragoons got me Shadow, and then I think I either top decked or off the Shrine I drew Pike. I also don't think I ever impulsed him. So he 100% could have Judgment my Pike. And if he Judgments my Pike, I don't know how much farther I go. I do okay for sure. I feel like I don't know what one of those sets are, but he definitely has Imperm, and he definitely has Judgment. I do think Judgmenting the Pike was probably correct. you know. Instead, he imperms it, which
I will also change impulse. So that just negates. It just
oh, I changed impulse to his impulse, and now because of that, he's going to. Is he not going to imperm the pike? Yeah, imperm the pike hurts for sure, but we still get shadow. And so, looking back on this, I can actually see why he didn't judgment it, because he probably wanted to get his impulse going, and he probably thought that he could negate the pike in my turn. For the most part, I don't know. So maybe it doesn't. Maybe this win doesn't feel completely undeserved. Yeah, I guess. Spoiler alert: we do win this game right here. Impulse just being a crazy card as normal. But yeah, so from here we're just kind of going, and yeah, so we get to the shrine, and I mean right now I'm obviously just living on Deep Sea King. The more I play this deck, the more I'm really just falling in love with Deep Sea King and just how absolutely busted that card is. Like I knew it was good, but it's just crazy how the amount of advantage you get off of so little resources is just unbelievable, and it's all from the deck, and it's so broken. Like I really think, at least currently as water stands, I feel like if I was to if I take this deck to a regional right now, the way I would want to play this deck is strictly around Deep Sea King being the win condition and playing whatever cards necessary to make Deep Sea King have as much value as possible without causing my deck to brick a lot or whatever. But yeah, so we shrine, ditch the prince on field, get your goons, and so the reason I did Deep Sea King discard, I drew Mizuchi for turn. How crazy is that? Just another brick on the tally, dude. But yeah, so I did Deep Sea King first because I knew that if I go Bahamut, if I activate Bahamut, he can just chain the Little Knight and hit my Deep Sea King. So my Deep Sea King loses its value. So I had to just do that first. And yeah, and then he takes up the Bahamut with the Judgment. But then, and I can't use XYZ Armor. I can't use XYZ Armored Shark because it has been summoned properly, basically. So I get him back on board, and now we can send Dweller to summon Pike. Honestly, I would rather play Kraken. Kraken would have been insane here. Because if I had Kraken, then I could have gone. I could have made Kraken. He would have Judgment that, and then I go Deep Sea King, and I get all the summons out in the field. And maybe it's the exact same scenario. But if he doesn't have Judgment, then the Kraken just completely stops the Little Knight. But yeah, so I also could have just gone straight battle phase and attacked over it, and then did all my stuff. But it's whatever. This was a winner for me. We'll get on to the next game here. Let's see what I opened. Okay, I opened Diva Lightning Storm, Double Dragoons, and what's that fifth card? XYZ Armored Shark. I mean, listen, it's every game, and maybe you can say it's just been me, but it's every game, and I power shuffle for every single match, and I don't know what to say about that. I don't think you can play Modern Yu-Gi-Oh and accept to open a 4-card hand every single match. It's just you can't be doing that. And excuse me. So yeah, he just kind of goes full gas here, and he has Judgment, and he plays Judgment for Lightning Storm, and so I skipped a little bit there, but I basically kind of had a feeling. Wow. Okay, guys, sorry. I kind of had a feeling, but yeah, I was just thinking, let's just shotgun it, see what happens. He either just loses or it's close. And I drew Shrine for turn. So this is at least something we can talk about. So this is where I don't know if there was a better line. So I have Double Dragoons, I have Diva, XYZ Shark, and I drew Shrine for turn. So I had decided here. So while I do believe, and I didn't really have this mindset in mind until after playing all these games, because I just became utterly convinced that Deep Sea King is the best card in our deck right now. But before that, we're sitting here and I'm thinking, okay, I'm thinking Shrine ditching Dragoons probably has to be the first action. Now, that could be incorrect, but I was thinking saving the normal Diva for later seemed like it probably was going to end up being the best play. Now, the only issue here with that line is that Shrine being used first means you have to shotgun your Deep Sea King straight out the gate. And so I think looking back, I almost would have wanted to. It doesn't matter. It does matter, but it also doesn't matter. So here's what I'm dealing with. He has a negate, you can't use it. He has a pop, you can't activate it, and he has a Book of Moon. Whenever he decides to get prevent around here, he has Book of Moon. So he has 3 targeting negates or disruptions. See, three removal disruptions I have to deal with. We don't care about soft negates as much, but we do care like when you open real water, we're like a real water hand. But so here, there's even if I Diva first and then Shrine the Dragoons to get to Deep Sea King, he's still gonna have two other ways to deal with it because he'll either negate the Diva or Book of Moon or pop the Prince that it summons, and then he'll just deal with the Deep Sea King, and I absolutely just stop playing. So I decided that Deep Sea King. So unfortunately, my hand required me to activate Shrine first, and I had decided that. And this was a game that I knew that I can maybe come out on top. This is one of the hands where I'm talking about where this feels winnable. It feels like there is a line here, and yeah. So I'm looking at Deep Sea King right now, and I'm just like, I can't do it. It's not the line. And this guy also doesn't play Ran. Which I don't think Ran would have been the line either. I think Teus was the right card. Unfortunately, Lernonad does not like Megalo, and I cannot wait to play Megalo because this is now I don't want to pull this card where it's like, oh, here's the one game where Megalo comes up, so it's an amazing card. I'm not saying that. I do personally like Megalo. I do find that Megalo comes up when you need a Sea Serpent that you can search to start discarding waters. Opening the 2 Dragoons in hand meant that. So real quick. Shrine, pitch Dragoons. Shrine grabs Teus. Dragoons grabs Shadow. Now, maybe Megalo wasn't doing anything, but I think there's another world where you could say Shrine grabs Teus, Dragoons grabs Megalo, and then Teus ditch the second Dragoons in hand to grab like Gundam Infantry, and then you can go Megalo, pitch Infantry, pitch Gund, summon back either Teus if it died, or summon back a Shadow and get a pop, but then also get Triana to have another extender before Diva. I think that's the biggest thing about Megalo is you get another extender. It's so huge, and I just feel, and another issue is like it's so hard to get Gund in the graveyard without Megalo, because it's not bad. It's just another card you have to be able to discard, and like we only have so many. We have Teus. We have Teus. Like this deck in particular, it has Teus, and that is it. In terms of like starters, like sure Poseidra does, sure Shadow does, but those are so late in the game, it doesn't matter. So I Teus here, pitch Shadow. Let's see, my line here I think is I'm gonna summon Pike and ditch the Dragoons in my hand. I'm just kind of trying to like ditch all of like these unnecessary waters or all these like engine cards. But yeah, so he So yeah, so he goes impulse. He summons preventer, and so these are expected. I know the 3 interruptions I'm dealing with. I'm just trying to find out. I'm just trying to bait cards out, see when I can actually start playing the game. So what did I do there? Did I add gun with the Teus? Okay. So add gun with the Teus, and then Pike discards the gun. Yeah, that's probably correct because the Dragoons really isn't searching us anything anymore. So I understand this line, and this line also gets me to Shadow and Grave. So I'm just trying to like keep up my body presence because at any time he can start negating my cards, popping my cards, and so this is just allowing me to keep multiple bodies on board. Because as long as you have 2 bodies, and you can do something in this deck. Bless you, Chris. But yeah, so I think this was actually the correct. I think this is an okay line so far, because there's nothing really clear for him to hit here, and so he contains my Pike, which is awesome. My Pike was searching absolutely nothing. So getting the Shadow on field here is really nice. Oh, I have to sneeze now. Sneeze complete. All right, so my Pike is removed from the board. It is negated, and I cannot use it for anything or attack. So right now, my field really is only Shadow Teus. Now here, oh, he also has another interruption. I forgot. He also has Princess. You can't summon Princess there, by the way. There you go. So yeah, hitting the Shadow there is definitely unfortunate. And then he has a Book of Moon, and he has Extinguish. So he has 4 interruptions we have to be able to play through. Good to remember for my sake. I think this is the first time where I'm really visualizing just how many, like the exact board he can build. And yeah, so we're obviously going to go. This is another moment where, see, I always know what's going to happen to the Prince because we play together so often. He knows how to play against water for the most part. Maybe not the new cards perfectly, but he knows what Prince does, and he knows if Prince resolves. It's looking pretty good for me. Although here, Prince really isn't doing that much. I kind of already spent all my resources, and so maybe again this is a moment where Minstrel would have been the better option. But yeah, it didn't matter here. He has the Extinguish. I am 1 resource too short basically, where if I would have had the Megalo would have got me. I don't know if maybe the infantry wouldn't have mattered, but if I had marksman plus Megalo, and obviously this field would look completely different. But having the Triana as well, yeah, who knows how this could have gone. So what I had done here is I knew that I know exactly what will happen. He has a Book of Moon. I go an enemy, and I summon back. I don't know if XYZ Shark was in my hand or not still. I think it was still in my hand. It was. There was one play where I go. What was it? I don't know what that last play was. There was another option. It was definitely an enemy into something, but I can't remember what it was. Doesn't matter though. We ended up going into, because I knew whatever I would have summoned, it gets Book of Moon right away, and then my turn ends with absolutely no presence. So I'm thinking, at least I have the Lacia. And his Princess is on board, which sucks, but yeah. So in the beginning of the turn, I am activating Lacia or not activating Shrine, discarding Dragoons to draw a card, and then I'm trying to draw infantry, or get infantry off my Dragoons I left in my hand for the Lacia pop. So I have an infantry pop from Lacia, and then I also have, whatever recursion I get from her. He top deck Ash for it. Does it matter? Absolutely not. It definitely never really mattered. I mean, if you leave Princess and Hydrant on board, it's too much. He's already just gonna +2 before he's even had to attempt to play yet. And so that is it for this game. Yeah, I'm looking around here. Eventually, he does. So I actually thought he was gonna deal with the Lacia by like using one of the trap cards to pop it, and then I couldn't activate it. He doesn't do that. He just attacks into it, and so I get to send the infantry here. I infantry pop his access code, and then. But it never really mattered. I infantry pop his access code, and then I summon XYZ Armored Shark. And then he actually put some more bodies on board, I think. Oh, he just can't kill me. And my top deck was actually crazy. So I added Teus off the Lacia, discarding XYZ Armored Shark, and I drew Shadow for turn. So I have Teus Shadow, and I have some random card in my hand. I can't remember what it is. I'm like almost afraid to know.
You had another judgment? Jeez.
Another Judgment is what he had. Yeah, I don't know what that last card in my hand was, but obviously it wasn't anything that was doing anything. But yeah, so that's a match versus Rescue Ace. So this is definitely a match where I felt like it was winnable, for sure. That last game, there's maybe a line. Hand over my heart. Megalo needs to be in these waterless. I think Megalo's crazy. Megalo isn't bad anymore. It's not searching Mizuchi. We have to remember it's not searching Mizuchi. It's searching another body. And when you play all these water cards that just live in your hand and you can't get them out, it's tough. But yeah, so we'll get into we have one more match to look at here. So we'll just dig into that real quick. And we're back with the last little round I have to showcase for Lernonad's list. Looks like we opened. Funny, to say the least. Very funny because we are playing against Ritual Beasts today. Yes, we are, and it's not a bad hand. If you just take out one of those cards, man. My personal list, I'm not playing Abyss Keeper. At least, like, initially. I do think Abyss Keeper is worth it, though. Well, it's really hard to say, because it is super neg going to Deep Sea King that way. But it's probably necessary because the Deep Sea King is that cracked. But yeah, Deep Sea King opening hand here, and when you're playing against a shifter deck is not optimal. So the Taste will not do anything. Dragoons will not do anything, and Perm is really not good against Ritual Beasts, and then crossouts. This is honestly a great going first hand for sure. Going first. Oh, except for the fact that if we go first here, we still weren't playing because another questionable thing I had was we're not maining it. We have a 59 card list and we don't have Shifter in the main for crossout. I don't know why we don't have Shifter in the main for crossout. Call me crazy, but Small World works under Shifter. Area works under Shifter. Enshrine works under Shifter. We have 9 cards. And if we play Prosperity, we'd have 10 cards. We have 9 cards that all gets the Deep Sea King under Shifter. So am I crazy for not thinking that worst case scenario, you open Shifter against like Rescue Ace, for instance. Shifter, they can't play. You go to your turn, Area, Small World, or Shrine, and then get to Deep Sea King. Because Area and Small World can get you to Shrine can get you to Deep Sea King, and then Deep Sea King. Well, do you have enough cards for that? You'd have 5 cards. So Small World in a card, get to Shrine in a card, and then a discard. Yeah, so you would use your whole entire hand. But you could play, or they'd interrupt you, and then you just kind of lose anyways. I don't know. Maybe it's not good. Maybe it's not good. But in the worst case scenario, maybe I'd rather stop them from playing than let them go full combo, maybe. But just having the crossout option, because even if I go first here, it wouldn't have mattered because big shock. This man opens Shifter. And when I saw Shifter with the hand I had, I could have just scooped it right up, but I thought, definitely worth playing out. So he's just going to go some Ritual Beast shenanigans here. We're all pretty sure what he's doing here is legal. We don't really know. Eventually he gets to the rank 4, which is the card I imperm. Now, debatably, real quick, he told me afterwards that really Kanahawk is the card. Kanahawk is the card to hit. But he already has this, so I don't think it would have mattered.
Where's your friend?
Oh, they went home last night.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Okay. All right. Looks like my kids are awake. So we'll dive into the rest of this match real quick. This is the last one before I have finished this list for the week. So yeah, looking back, there actually really was nothing else to imperm because the only other card you want to imperm is the Kanahawk, because the Kanahawk sends Laura or banishes it from the deck, and when you banish the Laura, it summons from deck. So that's kind of how they build all their advantage. But opening the Laura under Shifter is also just a starter because because you discard Laura to get the second normal, and then it automatically banishes because there's Shifter, and then once it banishes, you get the summon from deck. Coffee break. So let's dive in. He goes full combo. He gets to the rank 4 Promethean trying to search Protoss or Colossus or whatever. It never mattered. I was always losing, but I did imperm it. Oh, getting in the rice and ground beef meal. I don't know if you can see that because my camera's in the way. But yeah, we're getting our meals in. Gotta keep that protein high. So yeah, this is the board he ends on. Normal minstrel. This is my drop return. This isn't the deck. This is just Shifter, man. Shifter with just nothing to do about it. Like, it didn't matter if Deep Sea King was in my hand or not. I was never getting there anyways. You have to like hard open the luckiest hand. So we'll get into the next game here. He's actually playing it out. I don't know why I even let him. I think I want to let him be able to practice his deck too. So yeah, we'll get into the next game here. His side deck is toxic, dude. He has D-Fissure and Droll and Dark Ruler. Oh man, this man's trying to tear me apart. What was that, dude? I think that was probably... Oh, I'm pretty sure I'll say I know what it is. It was Shifter, Triple Thrust, and D-Barrier. And I side out the 3 droplets, a Droll, and an Ash. So I still have 2 copies in for cross out. I side out Droplet in the event he does Shifter me. Am I not incorrect, or am I not correct for thinking that Droplet cannot be used under Shifter because it sends to the graveyard's cost? Pretty sure that's how that works. So I wasn't too worried about it. I wasn't doing that much anyway, so we sided out. So we'll get into the game here. So my opener was do I not show the whole hand? Do I just go right away?
All right. Well, I definitely opened the absolute sauce.
Yeah, I think I opened
Here, maybe.
yeah, I don't remember. I don't think I showed it. I know I opened Minstrel Shadow, and I opened Cross Out. So once I saw Cross Out and playable, it's over, dude. Because I'm playing through any hand traps, and then I have Cross Out for looks like. Oh, I saw his hand, so I don't need to search the shrine early. Yeah, so I don't know exactly what I opened, but looks like I opened the shrine. Opening the shrine is wild. Gotta love opening that card. That card's a 3 of, baby. I see why it's not 3 of in the non Deep Sea King builds. But yeah, so here we use shrine just to Prince on field. This makes sense. Just triple pike it up, baby. And then Dragoon searches infantry, and this is just so much, dude. That's oppressive, brother. I'm fixing my zoning. I'm actually caring a little bit, because again, I'm just like, because when I have, so this is an issue I have, when I have full combo, and I know it's going uninterrupted, or I have like the sense of, he uses only hand trap or last hand trap, I do tend to rush through my plays just to get it over with, to get to the next game. Because I want to save time. 2, because I don't want to bore them for my 10-minute combo, and I want to be efficient with my deck. I don't want to be one of those players that take forever. So, yeah, here. So real quick, I did search the Armor's Z Shark. That's the first time I did that with this deck all week. Maybe there were times where I could have done it before. I don't know, but. Armored XC Shark really I just don't think performed very well. Even like Maybe it does, but it just didn't here. So what I also like about Deep Sea King is like you don't have to do the whole Giles Poseidra, discard a card and spend your whole entire hand to summon 3 level 3s that don't really do a whole lot. Yes, you lose out on Leviature, but look at the board we ended on. And so honestly, I'm definitely leaning to the party that believes that Virtue Stream should be in the side deck. Almost. No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say you shouldn't play Virtue Stream. That's silly. But yeah, I wouldn't say that. That's a little far fetched, but it probably doesn't need to be in the main deck. I mean, this is just fine. This is just fine. Even if I got Dark Ruler here, yeah, I think the one resource I'm maybe missing is so because I knew he had Dark Ruler, I did decide just to Shrine discard the gun right away to get the Mizuzuchi gun. And so yes, if I'm pretty sure I also do have infantry in hand, which I keep in my hand. So yes, if he does Dark Ruler me, I have nothing. I have 1 infantry pop. And now, in one sense, I would say, well, I knew what his hand was, so I knew that I could get to Mrs. I knew that I had to be able to have Mizuzuchi. Another part of me would say though, if I wasn't playing Mizuzuchi and I wasn't playing, let's say I wasn't playing Virtue Stream for whatever reason, and I saw a Dark Ruler, I would definitely have to change my plays a little bit. Probably just wouldn't end on Gaius. Probably just actually it's really just fine. You really just end on Lacia instead of the Gaius. And so then I have Double Toad and Lacia, and I pop the first card he makes, and then I recycle it with Toad, and then I pop the second card he makes, and that's basically what I have. So that maybe it wouldn't be great, but it wouldn't be horrible. But yeah, so he didn't open Shifter either, which is amazing. And well, it doesn't matter because I cross out, and that's my set right now is cross out. Yeah, so he's just. I'm kind of going through the plays. We're just kind of going through the motions. So this fusion, he summons it from his graveyard he summons it by banishing the materials from his graveyard. So that's really good. But yeah, so he has nothing to be able to do. He can't attack because I have Gaius. So we just go to my turn. I'm just trying to set up a board, and eventually he's just like, "Do you have lethal?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have lethal." I'm just going straight to Poseidon Drive, getting the game over with. I know he has no resources, and then we'll get into game 3 here. All right, so looking at the side here for game 3, looks like I'm siding in. So that card all the way in the back, you can't see it, is my 3rd Droll. So I'm putting Droll back in, putting my 3rd Ash back in. I'm putting in all my board breakers. Thrust is already in the main and staying in the main. And then Droplet is just, in case he doesn't have Shifter, just something to hit the Colossus. And you know, Masquerena as well, and he has a Ritual Beast that has a quick effect, banish. But yeah, so siding in all the board breakers, going second cards, and yeah, so we're siding out all 3 minstrels, siding out the D barrier, siding out the Virtue Stream, siding out the Shifter because you know even if I have the Shifter, even if I have Shifter or cross out, it's going to be too late anyways. Siding out the Moulin and the XYZ Shark. I kept the Gundam as it's a better extender than Moulin, I guess. Maybe that's even debatable. But yeah, so this side out seemed fine. Oh, and Mizuzuchi, get that out of there, please. But yeah, so this is this is an interesting game. Let's see if I show my. Oh my God, my hand was horrendous, boys. Oh, this. That's. I'm not even blaming that. My only thought, literally, my first thought when I looked at this hand was, okay, what do we do about this? What was incorrect here? Maybe the crossouts don't, because I was thinking I'm just siding out Brick Waters. And even looking back on it, so the only card that definitely did not need to stay in the main was the crossout. That was like the one card that I actually was siding out, but then I realized I didn't have enough cards to side in for it. So I'm like, okay, crossouts are better because at least I can hit a hand trap. I can hit a droll going second. Looking at this though, really the only card that would have changed here is cross out. Uh, I think Droplet was right to be in the main. I think Thrust is right to be in the main. Imperm was right to be in the main. So even if you take cross out and you make it any of the water cards I cited out, being XYZ Shark or Minstrel or Moulin, we can see how that affects with my draw. I don't think my draw was anything, but yeah. So and honestly, I'm not blaming anyone on this one. This one seemed like pure variance. And I think the one thing you can definitely look at this and say is you play 60 cards. So with that, I have 3 Droplet, 3 Imperm, 3 Impulse, 3 Ash, 3 Droll, and that's 15. And then I have 3 Thrust, 3 Cross Out. I have my 3 Board Breakers, so they're 9. So it's like what, 24. I don't even know if I called out everything. I think I did. So you have about 24. Am I crazy? 24 non-engine. So this is definitely a very possible scenario when you play as many non-engine as this deck does. And maybe I put too much in. I feel like it's not like I didn't take out consistency. There were no small worlds missing in my deck. There were no areas missing in my deck. Everything else was maxed out. It was the main consistency, not even really consistency card I took out was Minstrel. So this just seemed variance of the 6 card list. This is what happens when you play because when you play 60 cards, you kind of still need to have 20 cards of non-engine, or pretty close to it if you actually plan on seeing the non-engine. Um, so so yeah, he searches his Canahawk here. Looks like he has double Imperm set or double Imperm. Is that double Imperm? No, no. He's double Imperm in his hand. Here, I Imperm his Canahawk. He does really nothing except he does search Steed. So actually, his board's pretty gnarly. He has these 2 cards are follow up, and he has Steed double Imperm.
Double set. Okay, dude.
And my top deck, God, I'm guessing was just absolutely nothing. But I'm curious to see what it is because there's a scenario where if it's a starter, then maybe cross out being a Minstrel would have been the only way I come out of this alive. I don't know if I'll get a chance. Oh my God, I drew Deep Sea King. I drew Deep Sea King. So yeah, we drew a break for a turn. So how cool is that? I'm pretty sure that was my draw. I could be lying. No. That's definitely what it was. So there's no way to get him to activate Thrust here. I thought about it. I looked for a way. There wasn't a way. So yeah, he just cleans me here. Opened, absolutely unplayable. So yeah, those are excuse me. Those are my games. Yeah. So this is a tough week for me. I was not the luckiest man alive here, and we can I can go over final thoughts for the list. One thing I definitely feel is like, especially when I played Marvin's list with Lancia Control, I had all 6 Charmies, and that's the only time I had all 6 Charmies when playing a list so far. And the Charmies are insane. They're kind of broken. Maybe my games with Lancia go different. Maybe I don't do as well. But I would say this was a tough list for me. I felt like Gund and XYZ Shark and Misuzuchi and a couple other cards just didn't need to be in the list. I felt like it was over. It was like they were all kind of like win more cards, and I ended up losing. I would not say because of them, but they did. But they definitely assisted in a lot of my losses just due to the fact that I'm really over here opening 4-card hands. And yeah, I still have 5 cards, and yes, it is a water that I can discard. But we all know how that works. You open these waters, it's basically the same as opening Lapis Dragon. And we all know that if you played water before the new support came out, and you had Lapis Dragon in your hand, it didn't matter that it was a water, you were playing with a 4-card hand. And so there's a lot of 4-card hands going on here. And so that was an issue for sure. I also felt like why play 59 when you can play 60? And there's a lot of cards that could fill that role. I think I was upset. Well, not upset, but I think there are so many cards that fill that role. The main ones I'm looking at was Megalo. Megalo would have been a card that could have been utilized. I think Tactics could have been that 60th card. Just as an extender in your hand, if you somehow manage to draw that one card, or as a cross out target, or or as a thrust target. Because originally he wasn't playing triple tactics at all. Talents. He wasn't playing talents at all. And um, Another card that Prosperity could have been that 60 card slot. Shifter could have been that slot for cross out. I don't see a reason why we're not just putting one more card in. It could have been a consistency card, and it could have been a non-engine card. Either one would have been fine. Um, I felt like I felt like at the same time though, I don't think this list needed to be 60 cards. I don't think Minstrel needed to be a 3 of. I still don't. I go really back and forth. I think Minstrel is a 1 to 2 of. I really want to call it a 1 of. Um, let's see. I think there's better fish targets for the Deep Sea King as well over the XC Shark. I still like Pike at 3. I don't think that's a problem. Um, let's see. In terms of the side deck, I thought the side deck was pretty good. Um, I didn't get to see Droplet at all. I saw Droplet here, but I didn't. I mean, it was a brick hand, so I didn't actually see Droplet. I never got to see how Droplet actually affected the list at all. So I don't know how strong or weak that card is. So that's one card that's still like in like a question mark in my head on how much value is Droplet providing the deck. Um, I would say yeah, it was a tough list. I think it was playing, and this might just be just for me. This might be due to my play style, and I also misplay a lot, and I have to work on my technical play. But I definitely felt like there were too many bricks. At the same time, I felt like there were additional extenders that we weren't playing, but I would have liked to played. Um, I felt like the consistency I felt like the deck was consistent at opening playable, but not through multiple interactions. And I think that's due to the fact that you open playable hands, but you're also opening 4 card hands. So you just have less to play through. Um, yeah, I think every time I would have opened Droll, I opened a Charmy instead. That the deck is doing a lot better. Sure. But the Charmies are disgusting, and also neither of these guys had Charmies. And none of the guys I play against at locals, I'm pretty sure, had Charmies. So I don't really want to think about the Charmies too much as like a factor of how this deck could do better or worse. Um, and so yeah, I think I'm still working on my technical play. I'm thinking that there's definitely a few changes I would have made to this list. I also don't think he was playing. I could be wrong. His original list, I don't think he was playing like evenly. Maybe he was. I might be lying about that. I don't remember. I'd have to go back and check. But having cards like Lightning Storm and Evenly and Dark Ruler and Light Tactics for thrust targets in the side, I really enjoy. I know he had Barrier. I know he had DGG. I can't remember the other ones, but so I won't even make that a real note. Just so those are cards I definitely think need to be there. Those are board breakers for the thrust, especially when you're playing against these rogue matchups. Because if I don't have Evenly or Lightning Storm versus Rescue Ace, it's a really tough matchup if you don't just blow them out of the water. Um, but yeah, that's really all I have to say about this list. I'm excited to move on to the next one. It will be slightly. It is less than 60, but not by much. And there's some interesting card choices that, once again, I don't know how will play out, but it'll be definitely very interesting to try. And, really, really, I want to just reiterate over and over again that there are winnable games here. There are winnable game states here. Hindsight is 2020. My technical play is very rusty, and I am not denying that. Uh, but so like these decks might not be. If these decks don't perform well, it could just be because of me. All I can do is try and be honest with the results I see. All I can do is just be honest whether the deck lost or I lost, because those are two very different things. Because the deck I can be given a hand that wins the game, and I can play that incorrectly, and so I completely understand that. And I accept that. And I want you guys to know. I want you guys to see when it's the deck and when it's me. Um, so here, I think there was a mix. I think it was very much a mixture of both being a problem. And so we'll get into the next list here any day or now. And yeah, thanks guys for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you again, Lernonad, for submitting your list. I hope I didn't do you dirty. I am very rusty. You know, technical play is not good. A big part is just my knowledge of other decks and cards and their lines of play and what their end boards are is very minimal. I do not spend enough time on this game. I'm trying to more often, and so it will take time for me to get there. But I do plan on continuing working on my craft and my technical play until I get to a point where I am truly confident with the deck and I have the lines down to a science, and this becomes like muscle memory. I don't want to have to think about my plays. I just want to know them. That's how old water was for me, where I just knew how to play water. I don't know. I don't know new water as well. In terms of, I don't know how to get that peak value out of all your cards. But so we're getting there. We're getting there. And learning around playing around your opponent's board is also can be is also very difficult in modern Yu-Gi-Oh. But yeah, I'll get there. All right, I'm done rambling. Thank you so much for tuning in for this week's of, you know, water submitted deck list. We'll get into the next one hopefully tomorrow. And yeah, and other than that, thanks guys for watching, and peace.